The physicality's, pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Anything you go into the free throw line and just how smart he was. And
Right.
Especially nowadays, like take advantage of these guys, just far as just IQ alone.
Right.
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. So I had this video pop up on my feed, and I wanted to watch it. This is from Uncut Hoops, and the title is, it doesn't really say what we're going to get into here, at least what I think we are. It says the truth about Michael Jordan in today's era, right? And the thumbnail is a picture of Ty Lue. So I'm thinking that same podcast that we were checking out from this morning's video, I'm thinking we're gonna refer to that one again between it was Shannon Sharpe and Ty Lue. And I'm starting to think I need to watch that entire thing because there's a lot of people referring to what was said in that. Anyways, this is probably one of them. So Shannon probably asked him like what would Jordan do in today's league. I'm actually curious what Ty Lue has to say. Ty used to play with Jordan at the very end of Jordan's career at Washington. So this should be an interesting thing. Guys, as I always do, I'm going to link the original video down below in the description from Uncut Hoops. So if you want to check out the channel, highly recommend it. Y'all know how we feel about Uncut around here. Also, you see a list of channel members. Shout out, everybody. I appreciate you all. Without further ado, like the video, hit that hype button or whatever that is. I still don't actually know what it does, but it's there. Anyways, you guys, let's do this.
In today's game, and the game, the way it's being played, and the way it's being officiated today, Jordan at his apex, how many points would he average?
Today?
Yeah.
45. You can't touch nobody. It's a foul. So, you got the best player in the world. You know what I'm saying? You got the best player in the world.
45, T-Lou.
What, he averaged 36 one year?
Yeah, 37.
37?
Yeah.
So, add 8 to that. So now every time you get touched, it's 2 free throws.
Doncic will try to work, and he does.
No, he's doing the same kind of math that I do. I always just adjust for inflation. Yeah, 45. But I always argue Jordan would average 45 anytime he wanted to. But if it was better for the team to win, he would bring that down to 35 or 40. Yeah, but how many can he? Shoot. He can average as many points as he wants.
Edwards floats one up and a foul.
It's just a matter of are they going to win
drives
that
on
way.
George and draws the foul.
Mobley stays in front of him. Boy, that's some good. Oh, they call a foul on Mobley.
Yeah, trash.
That's terrible.
It is terrible.
The physicality's, pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Anything you go into the free throw line and just how smart he was. And
Right.
Especially nowadays, like take advantage of these guys, just far as just IQ alone.
Right.
When discussing various eras in NBA history, one thing fans always love doing is taking a player from the past and putting them in our current era. And of course, the question that always follows, does that guy get better, worse? How does he adapt? Is he marginally better or significantly better? Depending on who you're talking about that answer, it'll definitely vary. But looking at someone like Jordan, the vast majority of fans, players, coaches think MJ in this era will be significantly better and his stats will take a major jump.
How many points do you think Jordan could average in today's NBA?
What's the most he ever averaged? 37?
37-1.
Yep.
All right, so 40, easy.
If Michael played in this era, he'll average 50.
What would Michael Jordan be if he played in the game today the way the game is different from the way it was in his era?
He'd average 45.
Michael Jordan would average whatever he want to average.
There you go. See, I agree with Mark Jackson. He would average whatever he wanted to average, and knowing him, he wants to win. So, if his team sucked, he could average 50. It's not even an exaggeration. I can see him doing it all the time. He already averaged 30 for his entire career. Give him 10 more times to the line every game, which you know is going to happen. 20 free throws right there. Make 18 of them. Make 16 of them. Whatever. Yeah, 50 easy. But it's a matter of what he wants to do, Are you trying to win a championship? Then you might want to be around like 37, 40.
You believe he can get 40 a night?
Yeah, he can. Yeah. Yeah, there's no question about it.
Why is it a surprise by Shannon? In real life, he already averaged 37.1. You think with today's inflated scoring. You know, we're talking like 30 more points a game. You think he can't get 3 more out of that 30? You know? Yeah, I think he's getting way more than 10% of his team's points when it comes to that gap.
So when discussing Michael Jordan, the modern era basketball, how much he'd average per game, it varies from 40 points a game upwards of 50. If you ask me 50, it's damn near impossible. 40 points per game, definitely doable.
Easy.
As looking at Jordan 87, he almost did that in the 1980s. As of course 87, 37.1 points per game, played all 82 games, 40.0 minutes per game, and from the field, shot 48.2%. Michael Jordan, in a tougher defensive era, more physical era, averaged 37, and of course in the season, cracked 3,000 points. And looking at his highest scoring games, twice cracked 60, 8 times scored 50 plus, and 37 times scored 40 or more. Michael Jordan 87 had more 40-point games than games below 30.
It's pretty impressive, I can't lie.
Michael Jordan 87 as a scorer wasn't just explosive, he was consistent and also efficient. When you're looking at an all-time great scorer, that right there is a trifecta. Now, when speaking about Jordan's offensive game, averaging 37 points per game, no doubt impressive. But looking at Jordan's scoring, how is he doing his damage? Not from 3, but inside the arc, with mid-range jumpers and points at the rim and in the paint.
And it's amazing that this year he did it. He did it on a team he basically didn't have anybody reliable to pass the ball to. So the fact that he's still in that situation, what was it, 48%? 48 point something shooting percentage? That's insane to me, you know, because normally that means, oh, you're taking some shots you don't want to take. But he's taking bad shots and still getting 48%. It's ridiculous. And like I said, just add a bunch of free throws, because that's really what's going to happen. Every time he gets touched, free throw. So he's going to get all these easy points.
So Jordan quite literally was taking the offense to the defense. Doing a side-by-side comparison, look at today's spacing versus then. I mean, it's a no contest. In Jordan's era, it's all 15 feet or in. Nowadays, it's out to 30, 35 feet, guys pulling from half court. For defenders, is that hard to guard? Of course. For the offensive player, much, much easier, more wide open, and free-flowing.
Yeah. You know, if Jordan was playing with those wide open lanes, I mean, honestly, Jordan would torch the league so bad they would have to change the defensive schemes. Like it would happen within 1 year. He would drive it to the paint over and over and over again. Coach would have to make a shift, and then other players are going to realize, oh yeah, look at this obvious thing. The lane is wide open. Why don't I go in for a dunk? You know, and do it over and over and over again. Someone needs to take the charge. I'm waiting for Ant-Man to do it, you know, to just like not stop shooting threes and just attack the paint over and over and over. I know he's got the skills to do it.
You know, you watch clips from 15, 20 years ago, like almost everybody's inside the three-point line.
Everybody.
With JJ, I think, on a podcast, that it was harder to get 30 at the start of your career just because of spacing.
It definitely, man, it was. I mean, you got 2 dudes at the block.
Bunch of power forwards in the league.
Players up front have gotten smaller. So now driving to the basket, he gonna be dunking on everybody.
Yep.
Just think about that. Like,
yeah, look, he's got to deal with 4 people in the lane trapping him. And nowadays he'd have 1 at the most. 1 at the most. A lot of times it would be wide open.
He is like a 4 in today's game.
And one more thing
Wait, what did he say?
KD is like a 4 in today's game.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And one more thing I do want to know about Jordan 87, contrary to popular belief, facing double teams, triple teams, and even zones on a nightly basis. Yes, Michael Jordan 87 faced zones. And back in that era, you could play true zones as there was no defensive 3-second rule. In this era, guys like Luka, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, even Giannis, they take advantage of that rule over and over again. Because of course the big man in the paint can't camp there for the entire shot clock. So once they leave, then they attack.
So you think it's harder to score?
Oh boy. Is this not a moving screen right here? Watch this.
So once they leave, then they attack.
Man, well, why don't we enforce rules anymore?
Do you think it's harder to score 30 points in a EuroLeague game than it is in an NBA game?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But when I said that, a lot of people didn't agree with me It was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
I think now they're starting to agree more and more, but I always say it's because of the rules.
This interview, this podcast was when I started liking Luka, by the way, because he said it straight. Yeah, it's easier in EuroLeague to score points. Like, I'm sorry, it's harder in the EuroLeague to score points than it is in the NBA. Like, that one, that's a big statement. And honestly, he's not lying. It's true.
3 seconds in the paint in defense is huge. I don't think people realize how huge that is. Because, when I'm isoing, I watch the defender in the paint. So he got to go out at some point. So when he's going out, I try to attack. So that's a huge difference.
Yeah, good clip, Uncut. That was a perfect example. And look at DeAndre Ayton. Look at his great contest here.
Points. So when
look at him. Yeah, we really miss you in Phoenix, buddy. Sarcasm.
Now I try to attack. So that's a huge difference.
Now, one thing I do want to touch on is really touched on is the Bulls' schedule and how difficult it was in the 80s compared to now. As looking at Jordan's Bulls, back-to-backs played per month. November 5, December 4, January 4, February 2, March 6, and April 4. Michael Jordan's Bulls in 87 had a grand total of 25 back-to-back games. Compared to our current era, that number is absurdly high. So what's my point? Michael Jordan back in that era, playing 82 games, 40 minutes per game, all those back-to-backs had it much more difficult. As looking at our current era, guys sit games here and there, rest, they pick their spots pretty scientifically. And looking back 2 years ago in 2023, the NBA in total had 6 guys at 30-plus points per game. And out of the 6, only one of them cracked 70 games, that being Jason Tatum.
You know how disappointed I am? Ooh, Star Wars reference coming. That in the modern game, we're not seeing one player who's averaging 40. Like 30 PPG was doable in the 80s, 70s, 90s, 2000s. Now the scoring is up by 20-30%. Why has nobody been able to break that threshold and get 40? Jordan got 37, man. Why can't anybody get 40 right now? Why is 30 still the number?
How embarrassing. How embarrassing.
And looking at Joel Embiid in 2023,
Straight up, I used to have a poster of Yoda on my wall when I was a teenager, and it was him in Dagobah, sitting down, and it had literally all of his best quotes just all over the poster. I loved it, dude. I loved it.
He is scoring champion. He was a chronic load manager who barely cracked 65 games. And looking at games Embiid didn't play, was versus the following teams: Toronto, Washington, New York, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Orlando, Indy, Chicago, Detroit, Sacramento, Miami, Denver, and then Atlanta. Joel Embiid missing those games not playing undoubtedly helped his scoring average, as of course not playing those games, he's resting, recovering, healing up to be fully healthy.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really valid point. Yeah. How do you keep your stats up? You only play when you're 100% healthy. Damn good point, Uncut.
Looking at Joel's schedule, let's say Michael Jordan 87 sat out all the games Embiid sat out in 2023. If you do that, is 2 games versus the Wizards, which are both back-to-backs, 1 game versus the Knicks, 2 versus the Nets, 1 versus Indy, 1 versus Detroit, 1 versus Denver, and 1 versus Atlanta. Now that right there is 9 total games Jordan 87 would now sit out due to load managing and resting. And looking at the rest of that list, the Raptors, Hornets, Magic, and Heat back in 87 didn't exist. So what I did was pretty simple. Like to the Raptors, they ranked 12th in defensive rating. In 87, team they ranked 12th was Philadelphia. The Hornets ranked 20th. In 87, that was the Knicks. Orlando ranked 17th. In 87, that was Phoenix. Miami was 9th. In 87, that was Boston. So Michael Jordan under 2020 rules, the 2020 mindset, he's low managing, not playing, the schedule's much easier, he has more rest. And looking at his scoring average, it bumps up by nearly 2 points per game to 38.9.
But see, back then, we played 82 games, and then you had a 2-hour practice the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now guys play.
And a lot of guys, they were taking commercial flights before this thing got high tech, and they took charter.
Yeah.
Them guys were flying commercial.
But with the medical and the science, how it is today, like it makes sense why a lot of us can't walk now.
Right.
Because, you know, like how hard we went, all the practices, all the games.
Right.
So it is a little science to it.
And to hammer this point home even further, that the NBA scheduled back-to-backs make a big time difference, look at Jordan's Bulls in December. From December 2nd to the 16th, the Bulls, they played 10 total games, and Jordan the first 8 games was absolutely phenomenal, cracking 40 points every single night.
Insane.
But even someone like Jordan, he is of course human. As Jordan versus the Bucks, 317 shooting, 11 points, a god-awful game. Why Jordan was so bad versus the Bucks that night, it wasn't just a back-to-back, but the 8th game in 10 days.
Yeah,
And of course,
he's
the
dead.
next game, 2 days rest. What does Jordan do versus the Nets? 41 points on 45% shooting.
Yeah.
Again, typical MJ.
Yeah, so he needed a day of rest. And knowing him, he wasn't getting that rest in practice. You know what I mean? And any other human would be like, coach would be like, all right, you sit down for, no practice today, MJ. Just hang out. And they would say yes. MJ's like, nope, I got to cook all these guys in practice. So it became detrimental when it came to this kind of thing, I guess. But whatever.
If Michael Jordan back in the 80s, practice load management, sitting out games, not playing back-to-backs, that overall scoring average would take a big-time bump.
Yeah.
And if you say, for argument's sake, versus the Bucks, he does sit out, Jordan's overall scoring average was from 38.9 to 39.3.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Jordan go all out. But that's him being exhausted and still going all out. Can you imagine him fully rested every single time we saw him on the hardwood? Like fully rested and just going turbo speed because he knows he's not going to play the next day. Like that would have been disgusting.
So once again, Jordan, just resting certain games here and there recovering makes all the difference in his average, getting nearly 40 points on a nightly basis. And one thing I do want to touch on looking past stats is a player's endurance, their health, how in shape they are for the NBA season. Looking at someone like Jordan, an absolute menace on both ends of the court. The best scorers in this era, it's few and far between. Guys like Harden, Luka, and Dame, no doubt great scorers, get 35 on anyone. But defensively, they're simply non-existent. And if you play basketball, not playing defense saves you tons of energy.
Oh yeah.
Jordan 87 was playing offense and defense, and still getting 37 per game. In this era, if like a James Harden or Luka, he's not playing defense, 40 is a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, there's an old thing that we were saying back in the day, and we still say it now. When you're running back on offense, you're running down the hill because it's easy. It's easy to play offense. You're running back on defense, you're running up the hill. It's difficult. It's way more challenging to play defense than to play offense.
Matchup for the Celtics to use right now. Corzine cannot strip away.
And Parrish on the side.
Jesus
Jordan comes out.
Goes inside to Walton, and here you're going to see Jordan just come from out of nowhere with that speed of his. Saves the ball.
85-83 Bulls. He has 40, by the way.
Boy, look at him hustle on defense.
Good defense, MJ.
Takes a lot of pride in that part of the game, too, although he only gets noticed for the scoring.
So that right there is the end of the video. And once again, looking at Jordan 87, the era, the times, the vast majority of things were going against Jordan, stopping him from getting 40. In this era, the exact opposite.
Yep.
What Adam Silver wants desperately is more scoring, more points. If you put prime Jordan in this era, say go get 40, he's doing that every single night with little resistance. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Heck, first off, great video as usual, man. Maybe that's what Adam Silver's waiting for. Somebody to completely exploit the system, to prove that it is exploitable. Someone to come out there and just average 40-something points a game and just basically make a statement, yeah, this is too easy. It's too easy to score in this league. And then at that point, you got to shift it. But yeah, I don't know. Because I'm always looking at team scoring, team totals, and it makes me want to puke when I see these total numbers. 130, 135. Like, these kind of scores are disgusting to me. And ironically enough, when I see these kind of scores, like, okay, if you scored 130 points in a game and your star got you 30, they really didn't produce that significant of an amount. You know what I mean? Because you divide 130 by 5, and I don't know, well, what the heck is that? Let me look. 130 divided by 5, so we're talking about 26. So if all the starters were to like split that scoring load, it basically would have been right there around 30, 26 per game. So your 30 points is not really stepping out of the norm that much. You know what I mean? You're going to get some points off the bench, but it's mainly up to the starters to produce those points. So 30 means nothing to me. 30 is a joke to me now. I'm waiting for 40. And I think 40 is incredibly reasonable. And if we're talking Jordan, because that's the point of the video, Jordan coming in at this time, like a young, hungry Jordan, are you kidding? I agree with anybody like Mark Jackson who says he can score as many points as he wants. It's just going to be up to him as how much do I want to score? You know, how much do I want to facilitate? And are we winning when I'm scoring this much? But it'll never be a thought in his mind, I wish I could score more. No, he'll be scoring at will. It'll probably get boring for him, you know? He'd probably come around, dominate the league, win a 3-peat, and retire. Because he's like, this is a waste of my time. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you think. I guess let's just keep it simple. What do you think Jordan would average in today's game? You know, take whatever it is that you consider peak Michael Jordan and imagine him in today's game. What do you think he's going to score? Because I'm saying 40 easy. That's a joke. You know, 45, no problem at all. 50 if he wants it. All right, you guys, I am out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Like the vid, subscribe to the channel. If you want more content like this, go check out Uncut's channel. The link is down below. And hit that hype button. Not sure what it does yet, but it's there. So hit it if you feel like it. Guys, be water, my friends.